Scoopy Radio, joined by the incomparable Rick Barry. Brother, what's going on?
Well, if I was doing any better, I'd be making a comeback in the NBA, but it's always nice to be a part of something that's so meaningful. The Pump Brothers have done an amazing job raising lots of funds and changing the lives and saving the lives of a lot of people, all because of the love that they had for their parents, so you have to respect that.
You're very well respected in the NBA. You're also very opinionated.
Well, everybody's entitled to an opinion, aren't they?
No, but your opinions are as young people say.
Here's the deal. My wife told me, honey, you're the most honest person I've ever met in my life, but you're brutally honest. We got to get the brutality out of your honesty. But you know what? I feel like Jack Nicholson and a few good men, right? You can't handle the truth, and people really have a difficult time dealing with the truth.
So here's my first question. JJ Redick made a lot of comments about plumbers and people in that era couldn't be able to compete. And you know, they were basically not on the par of today's NBA player. He's very opinionated himself. He's now the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. When you saw the hire, what did you think?
Well, it was surprising because he has no experience, and but that's happened before, and some guys have been very successful. So only time will tell just how good he's going to do. But I'm really surprised. But I hear this a lot. People say to me, "Rick, you guys couldn't play with these guys today." Well, if you really understand the game and you understand life in general, if I had everything available to the players today from training, we had zero. I mean, zero. We were all on our own. I didn't have a strength coach, an agility coach, a dietitian. We had tough schedules and travel and everything else. I'd be faster, stronger, quicker, more endurance, jump higher. It'd be a joke how much better I would be, how much better Oscar Robertson and the guys that played in my era would be today if we were playing. So for anybody to say we couldn't compete, stop trying to compare different eras. Compare people in their own era and stop with this GOAT stuff. When I was the GOAT, I thought I was the guy that screwed everything up. It wasn't the greatest of all time, and so the thing is that you can't compare players in different positions. You can't compare Will Chamberlain to Magic Johnson. You can't compare LeBron James to a point guard. I mean, just don't do that. Stop doing that in all the sports. Compare them in their own positions. You can have a meaningful conversation and stop comparing errors.
So was Michael Jordan the GOAT of his era?
Michael Jordan was the greatest two-guard of his time. No question about it, and still one of the greatest two guards ever. But the thing is, just compare him for his time. I mean, and Kobe was great, but he happened to play when Michael played, so he's got to play second fiddle to Michael. But I love Kobe. I mean, I'm one of Kobe's biggest fans. I mean, it's such a tragedy. I mean, anybody get into that.
Well, I know that you don't want to talk about the GOAT conversation because it's ad nauseum. I've always felt that LeBron James was more like Magic than he was Michael. He was more like Oscar Robertson.
They play different positions. Michael was a 2, LeBron's a 3, who can play 2 and can play the 1. He's versatile. He can play the 4 and probably play the 5 against some teams. But he's incredibly talented, but he's basically a 3. So if you're going to compare him to Larry Bird during the time when they guys were there and they played some together. But he's a 3. So don't compare him to these other guys.
Do you think as the years pass, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, the appreciation for Dwyane Wade and what he did will grow? Because we talk about twos like Michael, but I think Dwyane Wade, is it because he's newly retired that people haven't had a chance to kind of sit back, or is his place in history just his place in history?
Well, Dwyane Wade is one of the great players, obviously, and another two-guard, and he happened to play with some other great people. But here's the deal. LeBron wouldn't have had the success that he had without a Dwyane Wade. You don't win championships by yourself. It's a team. You have to have other people. And LeBron was fortunate enough to have a great player in Dwyane Wade who was able to do amazing things. And so I think people just have to appreciate that it's not an individual sport, it's a team sport, and you don't win without your teammates contributing.
If you had your druthers, what young person in the NBA has the potential to break John Stockton's assist record?
I don't know. That's a tough one. I'd have to really give some thought and analysis to that. But here's the deal. I just talking to Oscar Robertson here. Well, I have great respect for him, played against him in that era. We never thought about stats. Oscar didn't think about getting triple doubles, and he just went out and he played, and he happened to get triple doubles. The difference between him and Westbrook is Westbrook was trying to get triple doubles. Oscar wasn't trying to get triple doubles, and he did it, and he almost did it for 3 or 4 seasons. So statistics are really not all that important. You just want to help your team win. To be honest with you, if I could come back to play right now, I'd be point guard. No, I would play point guard because I was just quicker, faster than most guards, and I could handle the ball some, but I'd have to be a little better ball handler. But we didn't have all the drills and things they have now. But I would want to do that because as a point guard, and I kind of did it as a small forward, you can control the destiny of your team. You are the guy in charge. It's like the quarterback in football. That's an important position, and that's what I would want to be, the point guard. I would want that ball in my hands, and I got more satisfaction actually out of making a great pass to a teammate to give him an easy basket than I did making a basket myself.
To me, the small forward is the new power forward, and the power forward is the new center.
Yeah, well, the centers, they didn't even have them. They took them off the All-Star ballot. Almost fell out of bed when they did that years ago. I mean, you got 7-foot guys all wanting to shoot 3-point shots. Now, the guy that I love because he can do it all is the Joker, because he still goes inside. He can use the right hand, the left hand. He's an incredible passer. He can shoot mid-range. He can shoot the three. He's a very special player and a very unique player. And I hope that more people who are growing up, these young kids, will try to fashion themselves after the way the Joker plays the game at the center position, because there isn't a coach in the league, I don't think, that wouldn't want to have the Joker on his team.
What about Anthony Davis and Joel Embiid?
Well, Embiid is not quite the same league as the Joker as far as passing and seeing the floor the way he does, and the inside game as well. I mean, he can do some of that, but he likes to shoot the ball outside as well. But I'll tell you what, Anthony Davis, I had never met Anthony until I was just over in the Olympics with my son in 3x3 watching him and stayed in the same hotel and got to meet Anthony. What I was impressed about him was the fact I didn't realize how big he is. He's a big, strong guy. But what I loved about him, and I even told him that, I was so much respect for how he changed his game to not worry about scoring points, to be a rim protector, to block shots and play some defense. That's what it takes for a team to win. And he did, I think, a great job, and I don't think was given enough credit for adapting his game to be a part of the USA Olympic team to win the gold medal.
Final question. We talked about eras and GOATs. I want to shift the topic a little bit. Every era has their shit talker. Gary Payton talked Sugar Honey Iced Tea in the 90s, as did Reggie Miller.
Really well, Reggie. Yeah, I wasn't. I mean, we didn't have that back when I played. You just played the game and you got your job done. And that's the thing about it is that you let sleeping dogs lie. If guys started to talk, that's the stupidest thing they could have done. I had enough incentive to want to play well. If you're going to give me some shit, I'm going to go ahead and make you pay for that, okay? So I'm not a big fan of trash talking, all right?
Fair. But you're brutally honest, and I appreciate you.
Well, nice to talk to you.